Hi everybody, my name is Margaret Masaba, and today I'm going to take you through how to improve your mobile photography using this gadget. I know most of you have it and you're just wishing on how you can take really nice photographs like a professional photographer. Well, this is a place to be and this is a place to learn. So for starters, you have to know that sometimes we keep our phones inside our pockets, inside our handbags, and they kind of get a little bit damp, yeah? So the first thing you need to do before you start taking photographs is to use a cloth to wipe the camera side, so that when you take your photographs, you have clear and precise images, okay? So the first thing is to wipe for clear images. Well, the second thing to do is to find a nice source of light, whereby when you want to capture the image, you can be able to have everything lit up, or even if you want shadows to appear on certain areas, they can still appear, but your light source is key, because they say photography is light. With good lighting, you're assured of taking good photographs. Now, the third thing would be, there are actually two sides of taking photographs, especially on a phone. When the phone stands like this is what is called a portrait. Now, when the camera is put like this is what we call a landscape. And a landscape ensures it makes sure that you capture a lot of details in your camera. So if you have a group photo, you're best assured to take your photo, take the photo when it's like this on landscape mode, this way. Now, if you're taking only one single person, then take your photo when it's facing you like that, so that the one person can actually just fit in the same, in one frame. Now, another tip I would like for you to know, because this one may be taken for granted, and it's about how you hold your camera. So you hold your camera like this, with both hands at the tip, just like this. Yeah? Just like this. So that your hand is stable, and if you wish to take a photo, you might use your index finger or your thumb. Index finger, I might use it like that, or my thumb, I might still be holding this one, and these two parts are being held, and just use my thumb to capture the image. And you'll find that when you capture your images like that, they are stable, they don't have shake, they're not blurry, and they're very clear and concise. Now, if you can't be able to hold them with your phone with your hands, the best thing would be to look for a really nice tripod where you can just set up the camera and let the tripod do the job, and then you can use a self timer which is in your phone to actually set it up and then run into position and then capture the photograph. Okay? Another thing is to adjust your exposure. If you find an image is dark, you can be able to use auto, which will detect for you whether the image is bright or that the image is dull. And it can brighten it up for you or keep it a normal temperature for it to appear very beautifully taken. Another thing you need to consider while taking photographs is how you compose your image. Composition is the ultimate. You don't want to put everything, you don't want to overcrowd your picture, but you want it to be have an aesthetic value. So that is what I mean with composition. Now, when you're taking a frame, especially of a person, you can be able to capture first of all, just take the whole frame of a person, the legs up to the head. And then once you have that, you can actually go in, fill the frame. You can actually take from the stomach up to the head, leaving a little bit headspace. On another thing, you can actually just come in close and just do a portrait from here up to there. In any case, you as a photographer, I think most people are really shy about is to actually just tell your subject, can you move this way? And when they move this way, see, this photo becomes different and actually becomes really nice to look at. Other than having them just stand straight, facing the camera, this one is somewhat like, okay, we're used to the passport size, yeah? But in real life, you want something really relatable. Another thing is you are best to take multiple shots. And in your phone, there is something called burst. There are people who I've met and they're telling me, oh my God, I just held the camera and it took a lot of photographs. Yes, that one is meant to be your friend. Because especially when you're taking group photos, where so many people are involved, you can't just take one photo and say that's it. No, because chances are you'll find that there's someone who has closed their eyes and there's someone who was looking that way, this way. So when you take multiple photographs using the burst shot, it's going to get you at least one photograph, which everybody is in focus, which everybody is looking at you, the camera person, and it will be such a delight to have all the faces looking at you. Another thing is having a frame within a frame. Say you have a doorpost. Someone is standing on a doorpost. You can be able to take the shot of the doorpost and include the person inside, include the doorpost. So that's what we call a frame within a frame, which marks for an interesting output in photography. Another thing is to use leading lines. Leading lines are the lines that lead you to where the subject, so that all those lines, when you use the leading lines, they are going to lead you straight towards the subject. Another thing also you need to consider is the grid. We have a grid on the phone, and this grid is divided into 3 lines, and this grid is able to enable us to be able to, let's say, to compose the image. You'll find that there are lines, the grid lines, and at the point of intersection in the grid lines, is best advised that you put an image at the 2 intersections and not put an image in the middle, because it will be looking flat and it won't be appealing. Another thing is to use symmetry in the images. When the images are well arranged in your frame, you're bound to say, oh my God, this photo is nice. People are going to say that. But if the images are all over the place and there's no head or tail to what the subject should focus on, then it's not an appealing photograph. So try clean your image as much as possible, taking away those parts which don't seem to make sense in the image, so that your photo is clean and is very symmetrical. Another thing is the rule of odds. You'll find capturing one image is okay. How about if you join another image or another object? And what if you join a third object? It will mean that when you join the third object and take the photograph is due to be very, very catchy, because one is just not bare. But when you do the odd, the image comes out perfectly, especially when it comes to flowers, especially since now we're experiencing spring. That will be an awesome photograph. So those are the tips, just some of the tips on how to capture good photographs with your mobile phone. And I hope you'll practice these tips, and I hope they are as useful to you as possible. Thank you.